Hoardganize Podcast. I am your host, professional organizer Rachel Seavey, and it's time to get organized. Hey collectors, happy Labor Day weekend. We are having a hot and smoky Labor Day weekend here in California. Oh boy, I'm just sitting here with my dogs. If you're watching on YouTube, they're like dying of heat. It's just a lot. So I hope everybody is well out there. Today we're talking about dividing your clutter into bite-sized tasks, so smaller projects, so that you're not so overwhelmed with the whole ordeal. And this podcast was inspired by Sue out in Australia. Hello. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you responding to my newsletter when I was looking for topics on what to talk about on my podcast. And you can subscribe to my newsletter at collectorcare.com. So often we get overwhelmed with the task of getting our homes and ourselves organized. I mean, when we look at the project as a whole, it really feels daunting. I mean, I get it. It's overwhelming, and even thinking about it is exhausting. So, and then we start to second guess ourselves, like, what if I fail? And why would I start now if I'm just going to fail in the future? And how will I ever get this massive project done? So you turn on the TV, you go on Facebook, you tune out the clutter. I get it. You've had a lot of clutter building up for a long time. For some of you, it's been months. Some of you, it's been years. And for a lot of you, I know very well that it's been for decades. So I do understand that you have a lot of stuff and that it becomes overwhelming once you've hit a certain point. You know, your stuff is basically taken over. It's taken over your life. It's taking over your home. It's taking over your happiness. It's taking over your energy. It really bites. So it's time to show your clutter who's boss and kick its ass one bite-sized piece at a time. So think of a project like doing dishes. Some of you may literally have a boatload of dirty dishes all around your house, and thinking of gathering them and soaking them and cleaning them and drying them or putting them in the dishwasher. I mean, thinking of that is just overwhelming to you because you have a lot of dirty dishes, for instance. So why not just do one dish at a time? I mean, even if you only wash and dry 3 mugs, it's better than nothing. Do you have stacks of laundry? I mean, does your laundry have a pulse? I know a lot of you are suffering with large amounts of laundry. Just do one load at a time, baby. Don't think of doing all your laundry at once, because even the thought of it will paralyze you. And just do a small load, I mean, you don't have to jam pack your laundry basket where you can't even carry it now, or cram the washer full of stuff because, you're trying to maximize your load and then things aren't even being cleaned properly. Just do one small, manageable load at a time. Make sure that it gets in the washer and in the dryer, and maybe another time you put it back, but just so it doesn't sit there and mold. Because I know when it's a lot of laundry and it's wet, sometimes it's hard to put out and put into the dryer. So I totally get it. I see my clients do this all the time, though. They overload their laundry baskets and then they don't get anything done. So just grab some and do just a little bit of laundry. It's just one bite-sized task at a time. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all of it. It doesn't even need the perfect place to live. Just start moving. Just progress is way more important than perfection. I was just recently injured, and I realized that paper grocery bags, which I don't know how long you've been listening, but I've been basically promoting them for years. Paper grocery bags were the best way to go for me. I had, not in abundance, I had about 10 paper grocery bags that I was able to use. And I just filled one with trash and one with recycling. And when it would get full, I would just take that out. And it wasn't even all of the trash and recycling in my house. It was mostly just the kitchen. But I felt like even though I was having trouble lifting things and my back really hurt, that I could manage the paper bags. And I was happy that I've been giving you guys this information for a long time, because I think the smaller amount that you have to carry, especially if you're injured or you're disabled or you're aging, I mean, it really helps. It's really overwhelming. To grab a giant black garbage bag. I see you guys do this a lot. You get these giant black contractor garbage bags and you pack them full of stuff, and then you can't even carry the garbage bags out. And so I couldn't even manage a kitchen. I think it's 32 gallon. I can't remember what size that is, but I couldn't even manage a kitchen bag for a couple weeks. And so just taking out those little brown paper bags full of whatever they could fill, not all the trash and recycling in my house, just what I could manage every day. And I felt good because it wasn't stacking up. It wasn't smelling. I have such a sensitive nose and a pretty low threshold for garbage and stuff, obviously, for the line of work I do in my house. So it just felt good that I was not letting it stack up, that I was capable of just grabbing a brown bag, filling it, and taking it out. It was great. So I was really happy about how much easier that was. And then I was able to really stay on top of, not having massive amounts of garbage and recycling in my house. And, a little bit really goes a long way. If you do something small every single day, just think about what you can accomplish in a week, in a month, in a year, 5 years down the road. I mean, if you just did one bite-sized chunk every single day, just imagine how wonderful your future could be. It'll be that clutter-free life that you truly desire. I know a lot of you want to be organized, and you see the whole project is super overwhelming, and so you never get started. And my suggestion, thanks to Sue in Australia, is to just break it down into bite-sized tasks. You can just do a little bit. If the whole kitchen table full of paperwork is daunting, just do one file folder, just do one letter. Whatever it is that overwhelms you and scares you, that's what's holding you back, is those feelings of overwhelm and fear. Fear of failing is a big one. So you just want to be able to know that you can get the thing done. It might take a long time. Yeah, time is is something that you can't replace. However, it won't be as intimidating if you're able to just chomp away at it just a little bit at a time. I mean, bit by bit, you're truly creating that future that you guys desire. And stop guilt tripping yourself, okay? Let's just stop with the guilt. Oh my gosh, the guilt is almost as heavy as the clutter with you guys sometimes. Stop guilting yourself about not doing the entire garage in a day, and it's been full of decades worth of stuff. Instead, just go through one box. Self-pity isn't going to help you wash the dishes. Self-pity isn't going to help you do the laundry. So just do a little bit at a time and feel happy about it. Congratulate yourself along the way. We don't have to be mean to ourselves. This is a time of change. This is a time of growth. This is very hard for some people to let things go. So honor that. Honor yourself. Honor that you're listening to this podcast. You want to get some help. And just think to yourself, think of one project right now that you've been meaning to get done. And, don't say your whole house. I know a lot of you need to have your whole house organized, but just narrow it down to one room to begin with. And then zoom in on that and break that room into bite-sized chunks. Even if it's just one file drawer or one file folder in your office at a time. Find that area that you find is a priority and just keep breaking it down. And, I'm really used to, I do a lot of really big hoarding jobs, as you know. I mean, I work with people that you can't even get into their house. It takes us a few days just to get in because the porch is so crowded or whatever. Maybe there's cars abandoned in the lot. I'm used to seeing giant projects from this 30,000-foot view. And I understand how intimidating the whole thing can be. You get closer and it's like, oh my God, there's so much. And then you feel overwhelmed. So what you're going to want to do, and this is what I do on my large projects, is I break things down into smaller tasks, smaller areas. Okay, where are we starting first? Okay, what box are we starting with first? Okay, what, category within this box are we starting with first? And, you just break it down to whatever's manageable. And if you get tired or get overwhelmed, just congratulate yourself. Stop guilt tripping yourself. I promise you that doesn't help. Congratulate yourself, honor yourself, be grateful for yourself that you did something today. Even if you just washed one butter knife, that's better than doing nothing, okay? And so I just really want to thank you for listening to my podcast. It's not about perfection. It's about practice. You're practicing new ways of living, new ways of thinking, and new decisions that you're making. And I'm honored to be part of it. I love getting emails and letters and notes and even sometimes, text messages from you guys. It's just so sweet. And I really appreciate you listening. And so that's going to kind of bring me back over to, I warned you last week. I hope it made sense about all the tasks. I'm moving on, about breaking down the tasks. I'm actually moving on to a different topic now. I need some ideas. I need a little bit of motivation from you guys. I've got almost 120 podcasts out there. I've talked about a lot of things. And my dear, wonderful listeners, I want to know what you guys want to hear more of. What do you like? What do you have any suggestions or ideas that you want to share with me? Is anybody out there willing to do a free coaching call with me for an hour about getting organized, maybe even about this topic, breaking a project down into smaller tasks and airing it on the Hoardganize podcast? It could be completely anonymous. It doesn't have to be a video call. It could just be a phone call. But if anybody out there is interested and willing, I would greatly appreciate it. I think it'd be very powerful for you guys to see what it's like to coach with somebody and what it's like to have an accountability partner. And I know Sue in Australia, Sue, you're the best, said that I should start offering it. So if anybody out there, not for free, unless you want to air it on the podcast, if anybody out there wants my help, just breaking a large project down into smaller size pieces and then being your accountability coach to seeing if you got those done, I'd love to help you. I think that's an excellent idea, Sue. I'd be happy to offer those kind of services to anyone. So it wouldn't even be like a big time coaching commitment. It would just be helping you with one specific thing. It could be anything also. So if you're interested with that, you can always send me an email. I'm at rachel@collectorcare.com. Or you could send me a text or call me at 925-548-7750. I really value you guys. I want to make sure that I'm serving you well. And feel free to comment below. I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, then feel free to comment below and let me know what it is that you want to hear about. You can also message me on Facebook under Collector Care, or you could find me on Instagram under Collector Care 1. I've been posting a lot of before and after pictures there if you like that sort of a thing. And I post pictures of my dogs and stuff like that. But yeah, even if you're not into social media, just send me an email, rachel@collectorcare.com. You can even send an inquiry at the collectorcare.com website. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you will see that my dog fell completely asleep. He's awake now, but we're hot over here. Please make sure that you are subscribed and click that thumbs up button. I would love that. And remember, collectors, seriously, happiness is a place between too little and too much.